Okay, what if enlightenment wasn't some far-off final destination, but was actually a kind of cosmic operating system? Today, we're diving into a really profound idea from Mahayana Buddhism that completely reframes awakening. Think of it as a dynamic, fully functional system for interacting with reality. So, let's boot it up.
You know, this question right here changes everything. We usually ask, what happens to me? But this flips it to, how does it all work? If a mind becomes fully awakened, how does it actually interface with the world? Well, the source material we're looking at today gives a surprisingly systematic answer. It views it as this powerful underlying program that's always running.
To really get this, we first need to wrap our heads around the core metaphor. We're not talking about some static, blissed-out state. No, we're talking about a dynamic, running system, an OS for reality itself.
Now, the central figure here is Samantabhadra. But get this, in this context, he isn't some historical person or a deity you pray to. Think of Samantabhadra as the name of the operating system itself. It's the total sum of all the abilities an enlightened mind uses to actually do things in the world.
And this distinction is absolutely crucial. See, enlightenment isn't just knowing a truth, like reading a book about how to fly a plane. It's about accessing a complete functioning system that's already running. It's like getting into the cockpit, grabbing the controls, and actually flying the plane.
So, what can this OS actually do? What are its features? Well, the source describes it as a fully concurrent system, which is just a fancy way of saying it can run 10 incredible processes all at the same time. This is basically cosmic parallel processing.
All right, let's look at the first 5. First, it has the power to purify and harmonize any environment it's in. Then there's this incredible networked learning capacity, where wisdom is shared, not just locked away in one mind. The whole system is driven by vows, which we'll get to, a super stable long-term energy source. It also allows for multiple embodiments, meaning you can be a parent, a friend, an artist, all without getting stuck on one single identity. And finally, it has infinite language adaptation. It can communicate the truth in literally any form necessary.
And the next 5 just build on that. This OS has awareness, right down to the dust particle level. Nothing is missed. It can manipulate time, compressing entire ages into a single moment. It responds with perfect precision to what every single individual needs. Its wisdom isn't just some abstract idea, it always translates into compassionate action. And lastly, it contains the entire roadmap. The complete step-by-step path to awakening is built right in.
And here's the kicker. Liberation isn't about mastering just one of these things. It's not just wisdom, or just compassion, or just action on its own. No. True liberation is the seamless integration and the simultaneous operation of all 10. It's the whole system running at full capacity. But what in the world powers a system that can do all of this at once? It's not passive, right? It needs fuel. And that fuel is something the source calls vow power. This is the stuff that keeps the entire OS from crashing under the immense pressure of reality.
So what is vow power exactly? Well, it's your core intention. It's your deepest commitment. It's not just some fleeting wish, but that unwavering directional energy that you dedicate yourself to. This is what becomes the sustainable fuel that keeps your awareness steady through every single challenge and distraction.
And a vow doesn't have to be some grand, complicated thing. The source gives this simple, incredibly powerful example. Just a commitment to not lose your original mind, that innate, clear awareness we all have. That becomes the central command line for your own personal OS. It's the prime directive that keeps you oriented, no matter what other programs you have to run.
Okay, so what happens when this OS is fully active and it's being fueled by this vow power? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. The source describes a fundamental shift in perception, where the world itself starts to communicate with you directly.
Think about that for a second. This is a massive perceptual upgrade. You no longer have to seek out wisdom from one specific person or a special book. When this system comes online, every event, every person, every moment of joy, and every challenge, the entire fabric of your life starts speaking to you. The world itself becomes your teacher.
The source actually calls this a great earthquake, but it's not a physical one, of course. It's a complete and total overhaul of your cognitive foundation. Your entire way of understanding the world, your fundamental stance in life, even the coordinate system you use to find meaning, all of it gets a fundamental reboot.
So, this all sounds amazing, but how do we actually apply this in our own lives? Well, the source provides a kind of user manual for what it calls awareness paralleling, which is really the art of running all the multiple threads of your life while keeping that main thread of awareness completely intact.
And let's be clear, this isn't about simplifying your life or running off to a monastery. This is a system that's designed for the complexity of modern life. The whole point is to be a parent and a professional and a friend and a practitioner all at the same time without ever losing that core thread of clear, stable awareness.
So, this user guide gives us 7 practical principles. First, embrace your multiple roles. Don't try to find one correct state to be in. Second, the absolute key is a clear mind, right here, right now. Third, remember your core vow. That's your energy source. Fourth, let go of fixed identities. When things get chaotic, and they will, stabilize your foundation. Come back to your body, back to your breath. Sixth, learn to let the world teach you, even through conflict or desire. And finally, and this is a big one, focus on continuous operation. This isn't about reaching some finish line, it's about maintaining awareness day in and day out.
And this all brings us to the ultimate self-check question from the source, and it's a really powerful one to ask yourself. At the end of the day, look back and ask, was my life today just a single-threaded struggle where I was constantly overwhelmed, just trying to handle one thing at a time? Or have I begun awareness paralleling? Am I starting to learn how to run all these threads from a stable, core awareness? Because in the end, enlightenment isn't a static achievement you just unlock one day. It's not something that happened. It is a live, dynamic process, a system that is always running, always on, always available to be accessed, right here and right now. It exists, and it always will, in the present continuous tense.